Welcome to Red Eye. I'm TV's Andy Levy, filling in for Greg Gutfeld, who'll be back Monday as long as Customs doesn't check his luggage too closely. Let's go to comedian Paul Mercurio for our pregame report. Paul, what's coming up on tonight's show?
Thanks, Andy. Our top story tonight, Obama supporter and star of Short Circuit, Steve Gutenberg, criticizes the president for taking too many vacations, or as long periods of time not working are called, Gutenbergs. Plus, he's here, he's queer, he's the mystical protector of the universe. DC Comics superhero the Green Lantern is coming out as openly gay. Robin responds, "Holy duh, Batman." And finally, in North Korea, bears are threatened, beaten, and forced to skate against their will. Figure skating parents everywhere say, "And?"
Thanks,
Andy?
Paul.
You're welcome, my friend.
Wow, it's about time you said that. All right, let's welcome our guest. She's referred to as the pride of Long Island by her mother. I'm here tonight with Lauren Sivan, reporter for Fox affiliate KTTV in Los Angeles. And she's been called one of the most talented female comedians of her generation, but Whitney Cummings couldn't be with us tonight, so we got Amy Schumer. Bill Schultz, he just took bath salts. And since nothing could be hotter than a congressman named McCotter, we got one. Sitting right next to me is Michigan Congressman Thaddeus McCotter. And he gets little acclaim because his stories are lame. It's our New York Times correspondent. How are you, Pinch?
Happy Guess the Paper Day. Which of the following headlines belongs to the paper of record versus the scurvy knave that is the New York Post? First one, John Edwards acquitted on one count, mistrial on 5 others. And the second, still guilty of being a cheating, lying, disgraceful husband, father, and human being. So which banner goes to the broadsheet and which to the tabloid? If you have to ask, then you don't know how to read. Andy?
I'm pretty sure you don't know how to read.
Paper of record.
I've read you. It's a setback for Barack. Yep, he's lost Steve Gutenberg. This week, the Police Academy star expressed disillusionment with Obama, whom he used to support, noting that, quote, "It's hard to believe in the presidency anymore." In an interview with creditcards.com, where I get all my news, Lauren, the Goot was asked about the banking crisis, responding, quote, "I voted for Obama. I love Obama, but I don't want to see Obama on The View. I don't want to see him playing Frisbee. I don't want to know that it's $40,000 a plate at George Clooney's house, and I adore George Clooney." That was Gutenberg, not me. "And I believe that the president should be at his desk all day." I'm told he said that while smiling boyishly. Meanwhile, in non-Gutenberg political news, Mitt Romney was asked about a bunch of hecklers who showed up to shout down Obama's senior advisor David Axelrod at a campaign event. I hope he used an old-timey saying in his response.
Most of the events I go to, or many of the events I go to, there are large groups of, if you will, Obama supporters there heckling me. And at some point you say, you know what, sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. If they're going to be heckling us, well, we're not going to sit back and play by very different rules.
Anyway, you know who remains blissfully unaware of the campaign sniping at each other? These guys. I never get tired of watching synchronized eating. It's fantastic. Hey, Amy, if Obama's lost the Goot, hasn't he, in a very real sense, lost America?
First of all, I think Greg would be hurt that you refer to him as the Goot. I think Gutfeld thinks of himself that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the fact that somebody was on creditcards.com in the first place, like how did that happen? That's a bigger question. And here's what I would do if I saw Q&A with Gutenberg. Shut the window and go back to those dogs. Like, why did somebody read that?
This was our A-block story, madam.
You guys need a new writing staff.
Yeah, you might be right about that. Or a writing staff.
Oh, right.
Congressman, so the Goot has spoken, but will President Obama's arrogance allow him to listen?
Well, I think the president probably respects Mr. Gutenberg's work in the Police Academy films as much as anyone of our generation. And so I think that this could be deemed as a very barbed remark. But when we look back, Andy, you remember, President Carter failed in the presidency, and it wasn't the fault of Mr. Carter and his policies. It was the presidency was too big for one man. And then Ronald Reagan got elected. The left claimed he didn't spend enough time there, and the country turned around, the economy got going, and an evil empire fell. So I would advocate President Obama spending less time at his desk, more time watching Police Academy, and less time mismanaging the country.
Well, that's my question. That's where I completely don't agree with Gutenberg, and it pains me to even say that. And
God.
I know, Steve, if you're watching, I'm sorry, I feel bad. I don't think the president should be at his desk all day. I don't have a problem. Everyone always gets all up in arms when a president takes a vacation. It's not like they're turning off their cell phone for a week and not checking their email. They're not in the Oval Office. Big deal.
Yeah, it's quality of work, not quantity of work. And I think that, besides, you can develop some severe symptoms just sitting at your desk all day.
Yeah, believe me, I sit by Bill, I know. Hey, Lauren, you work in L.A. Are other celebs turning on the president, or is Obama still beloved by all except the Goot?
Well, Goot is angry at Obama for not working. I mean, he knows about not working.
Yeah.
Whereas,
Yeah.
you know, but I'm surprised that that was his, you know, issue, really. I thought he was going to stand up and talk about gay marriage, considering he raised a baby with 2 men.
That's a good point. Yeah. Excellent point. Hey, Bill, has the Goot made you rethink your adoring love for President Obama?
Not in the least. First of all, he's just upset because he's not on The View, and he's not invited to George Clooney's parties. That's all it comes down to. And secondly, I added a syllable. Deal with it. Secondly, good for the goose is sauce for the gander. I hope that sauce for the gander, something like that. Yeah, I hope that Romney gave some of these zingers to his fake hecklers before they attacked Obama. I think I heard one of them say, "You sir are no gentleman." I could have sworn I saw another guy use a
By the way, I think the actual saying is sauce for the Goot, sauce for the gander.
Well, that's why we combined the stories.
Exactly.
If it was on the sauce, that would make more sense.
Exactly.
Really.
Yeah. It's all the sauce for the Goot. Hey, Congressman, let's talk about this heckling. Some people are saying it was rude and childish of Romney to support the hecklers. What do you say?
Well, I think it's just a reality of public life today. People can protest. It's First Amendment right. You just got to get used to it. You get inured to it.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Is that right? Yeah.
If you started a cult, I would join it. I want to throw that out there, just so you know you have at least one follower.
And she's not susceptible to cults.
No,
Trust me, I tried.
No, this is
He's
huge.
giving it a shot.
I tried.
Yeah.
Throwing it out there. I'm looking for a new direction.
Is that exuberance on your face?
I think it is. Yeah.
This is what he looks like in an earthquake. Go.
Yeah.
More amused by the prospect of you peeling me grapes in a tundra.
I'm signing up. I'm signing up.
This is mildly ambivalent, cautiously optimistic face.
No.
Let it wash over you.
You
It's
don't get to come
washing.
to the cult.
I want to be the grape.
It's going to take you a while to get.
Hey, Amy, how do you handle hecklers?
That's a great question.
Thanks.
I'm used to it because I do this for a living.
Right.
So yeah, what do I do? I think everybody should do what I do with hecklers, okay? You just sit on the edge of the stage and weep until everybody leaves. It's great. You're paid and nobody really wants to mess with you.
Right. All right, excellent.
You know, I don't mind you working when you're in the cult, because the leader of the cult really can't work.
I think this is a great idea. I'm liking it more and more. I feel no need to work, so this works out great.
And everyone knows when you're in a cult, you're funnier.
Lauren, you're in.
Yeah, you want to join the cult?
Lauren, will you join the cult?
Am I being drafted, or do
I don't think
is this
drafted
kind
is
of
the right word.
You are
but-
chosen.
So basically, the only way you can get in this cult is to be from Long Island and have boobs.
You're not getting in the cult.
Whoa.
I also have ovaries.
All right, ovaries too. I'm glad one of you does.
You have to
need
see me
brain
from
waves to get in the
behind.
cult.
I got waves, curly ones.
We'll
I'm
let Andy in the
barren.
cult. You want in the cult?
He's from Long Island and he's got boobs.
You're in the cult.
What were we talking? I don't want to be. What were we talking about? Does anyone
Protesting.
remember? I don't know.
Long Island boobs.
Something about a goose on the sauce.
I don't know. Why don't we just move on to the next story?
No.
All right. From hecklers to sticklers. So are coffee drinks also on the brink? Well, under New York City Mayor Mike Bloomberg's totally awesome proposed large sugary drink ban, fraps may no longer be on tap. Yep, the super sweet Starbucks treats were thought to be safe because Bloomy's plan wouldn't cover large beverages that contain more than 51% milk, as dairy is considered to be somewhat nutritional. But Starbucks employees tell DNAinfo.com that, quote, there's very little milk in them, definitely not half. Nobody likes a narc. Meanwhile, on Friday, New York's mayor/father was asked about his support for National Donut Day.
It sounds ridiculous. It doesn't sound ridiculous. One donut's not going to hurt you. It's in moderation. Anything or most things are okay.
He also said some more junk.
All the studies show if the glass in front of you or the plate in front of you is smaller, you'll eat less. We're not banning you from getting the stuff. It's just if you want 32 ounces, the restaurant has to serve it in 2 glasses. That's not exactly taking away your freedoms. It's not something that the founding fathers fought for. In the case of full sugar drinks, in moderation, it's fine. And all we're trying to do is to explain to people that if you drink a little bit less, you will live longer.
If only there were a way to test the effectiveness of banning big drinks. you never know where somebody might be hiding a really big drink, do you, Lauren?
Oh, I wonder if they're hiring.
Yeah.
Amazing job.
Hey, Lauren, are you going to stand for Bloomberg effing with your Trenta Cinnamon Dolce Frappuccino?
Let me tell you something. And I like coffee. But if you are a heterosexual man and you are ordering a Frappuccino with nut sauce on it, oh my God, you have bigger issues than your sugar intake.
Yeah.
You might want to think that over. But let's be honest, I mean, the whole thing about this, but, you know, could you imagine us having to explain to someone in, say, Somalia, like, our sodas are like so big and they're like so cheap that we need a law preventing us from drinking the big thing all at once. Do you guys have that problem? No? It's crazy.
That's totally crazy. Hey, Amy, Bloomberg's just trying to help us. Why won't we let him?
I think we should let him. I think without him, people just want to strap a feed bag to themselves and eat until they explode, like the movie Seven. So I'm all for it. I think we do need to be stopped. I liked what he did with the calorie counting, and I think it sort of sheds some really good light. But it's like if you want to drink over 32 ounces at a time, do it like an adult. Put it in a paper bag, stand on a porch, wait for a drive-by. Is that am I alone here? I don't think so.
I think you are, actually.
Oh, well, I grew up in the streets.
Yeah, I guess you did. You have cred and we don't.
Real urban.
That's the problem.
Real urban.
Hey, Congressman, a group called the Center for Consumer Freedom is running a full-page ad in Saturday's New York Times. Frankie, can we put that up? It's Mayor Bloomberg in a dress.
Whoa.
And it's called The Nanny. Kind of says it all, doesn't it, Congressman?
It kind of does, but it also should add two things. The first is that the greatest invitation to big government is the failure to self-govern. As a libertarian, you espouse that. But I also want people to know that if you join the cult, you can drink whatever you want, make as much as you want, eat as much as you want, just bring some home to the leader.
Okay.
So it's a pretty libertarian cult.
You're not coming in either now.
All right. No, fine.
One leader, one doctor.
By the way, there's only room for one libertarian cult, so Ron Paul's got that locked up already. So
last show you said he was dead.
Can't do this. I didn't say that. Somebody else said that. Hey, Bill, will there be a Frappuccino black market if this thing goes through?
Ooh, racist. Second of all, I don't want to take Bloomberg's side here, but I was jaw-dropping to find out that this drink is 17 and a half inches of toffee nut syrup. Toffee nut syrup. I got hypoglycemic shock just reading it. That is disgusting. Yeah. And second of all, what was Bloomberg thinking posing for that picture? When they gave him the dress alone, he should have known better. Where were his advisors? That's not his color. Like his shawl is very fall. It's summer.
Donut Day.
Don't get it.
Didn't Rudy Giuliani once wear a dress for something?
Yeah, and he
was Saturday Night Live.
Yeah,
your colors.
Yeah, right. On Saturday Night Live. Yeah.
Dude, very flattering.
Yeah. Hey, Lauren, on Friday, McDonald's tweeted at Bloomberg, which is fantastic.
Amazing.